Hello and welcome. How is everyone? It's been a little while since I've done a live. Hello to everyone in chat. Hippie Shake, how you going? Akuya, Old Lord Underworld, Danielle, Cheryl Wright, Just JP, Corey. Hello everyone. How are you all? It's been a little while. I've been of no fixed address, I guess, for a while. So now I've got a fixed address. I'm back in a house, so thought I'd start doing some lives again. And it's 2025, right? What a crazy year. You've probably all heard what is going on. Von, dang, wrong account. You're not supposed to be here. That's okay. What do we got? The Pope. I've got some stuff here. I've just got to work out how to share my screen. Hang on one sec. The Pope. Where's the Pope? Oh, gosh. I can't find him. This is not a good start to the show. The Pope. Where have I put him? Oh, hang on. I know where it is. Okay. Now, where am I? Sorry, I haven't done this for a while. I'm out of practice. Oh, no, Von was logged into. Oh, okay. So you're Old World Underworld. Okay. Well, thanks for being here. Jolly Man, hello. Patricia, Fiona. Yes, great news. Yes, I have a house. I have a room. It's a share house. So I'm just hanging out here. Got a new roomie. And it's good. It's good. It's good to have running water, right? I've been in tank water forever, so that's good. All right. So Pope Francis died, and I just saw this cause of death revealed, and it says Pope Francis died just 90 minutes after he was woken up by his alarm clock, which I find a very strange little thing to talk about. It even says here he reportedly woke up when his alarm went off at 6 a.m. He felt ill at 7 a.m. and died at 7:35 a.m. What does this mean? Are there any numerologists in the house, right? 90, he was 88, 735, 67. Does this mean anything? Because I find that very, very interesting. Died of a cerebral stroke, coma, and irreversible cardiocirculatory collapse. So he wasn't doing well. So he was 88. So I looked up 88, meaning, and look what I got. Did anyone know this? That it's one of these. And it's just apparently one of these. I didn't know this. And then it's an angel number as well. But basically 88 just means achievement, abundance, and success. I'm sure there's other meanings in there, but there seems to be a bit of numerology going on with old Popey boy Francis here. I was watching J Dreamers this morning. He said that France means freedom, free. And 88, I think, means like the gate. So probably no freedom, right? 1,000-year-old prophecy predicts the next pope, but has terrifying warning. So everyone's probably heard of this, right? He was prophesied to be, the second last pope. There's all these faces in the Vatican. I think it's in the Sistine Chapel. And there's one of the Christians from way back had a prophecy that there would only be so many popes. And there was basically one Pope Francis, there's one left after him, and apparently when he gets chosen, that the world ends or something. The apocalypse will start, if you believe in all that kind of stuff. And I forgot what I think his name was Paul the Roman, is apparently who's supposed to get chosen. So anyone know, or is it Peter? It might be Peter. I'll have to look at that. Paul the Roman. Is it Paul? No. Paul the Roman, no. It must be Peter. Has anyone heard about this? Peter No, prophecy of the popes. Peter the Roman, yeah. Who is Peter the Roman? The prophecy of the popes. So has anyone looked into this? Who is this Peter? I haven't heard of any Peters on the world stage. Maybe he's petered out. But basically, prophecy first published 1595. Blah, blah, blah. Saint Malachi. So there's all this stuff going on. And then on the day that Pope Francis dies, this dude, Eatsy Bugs Man, resigned from the World Health, the WEF, right? World Economic Forum. And then I found this story that opens new probe into founder Klaus Schwab. And it's really all just crap. It's all, that he asked people to withdraw thousands of dollars and he, pay for trips and restaurants. I mean, come on. I think that's a fake story, just because these guys, they're thieves, right? That's what they do. And then we have The Last President as well, Orange Man, a book by Ingersoll Lockwood that basically has a guy called, who's the son, Barron Trump, right? Who's Trump's son. And it's his story. And basically, it's about the last president. And everyone thinks that is Donald Trump. So I'll stop sharing. So the world's crazy is basically the point of all that. We're in 2025, right? And of course, then, we have all the orbs in the sky, the plasma, we have the flooding, there is water like receding, like oceans are receding and not coming back. What else we got? We've got obviously fires still going on. We've had an earthquake. We've had volcanoes go off, planes falling out of the sky. And now China, it's all coming out that there's no people in China. Chris, how you doing, mate? Look at that. Thank you very much for your support. David Icke posted New Agora article. Oh, really? Wow, interesting. Jeez, Lorenzo will be happy, man. How cool. I haven't spoken to him. I just sent him an email today, actually. He's in the US and he doesn't have very good internet. But wow, that's awesome. Thanks for letting me know. That's three. Baron the Time Traveler. Yes, Baron the Time Traveler. All the omens are in effect, says Stoic 9. Second time today I've heard about Peter the Roman. Yeah. I've only just sort of come across that prophecy. I knew about the last Pope prophecy, and it just happens to be when, we have this last president sort of thing. It's not really a prophecy. Klaus is retiring from the WEF. Lots of stuff going on, and then all these earth changes. And then, like I said, all these videos coming out about China and that there's no people. One says 88 can also represent a double time loop, or as above, so below. Well, there you go. Time loop. There's been a lot of talk about time loops, right? What is happening with the timeline? Time speeding up. That's another one. Are you noticing that? The quickening and, things like the Mandela effect, right? What is all this? There's a lot going on. Pope died. Sorry, where is that? Sven Dabs. Pope died 2,777 years after founding of Rome. The 440th prime number, 404 verses in Revelation. Well, there you go. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Hippie Shake. You're always on here and you're awesome. Sorry, I'm getting messages. 8 plus 8 equals 16. 1 plus 6 equals 7. Isn't 7 the number of the Lord? Is it the number of the Lord? I mean, there's lots of 7 in creation, isn't there? 7 days of creation, 7 colors of the rainbow, 7 deadly sins. Is that part of the Bible? I don't think that's part of the actual Bible, though, is it? Yeah, could be. Let us know in the comments if you know. Is 7 the number of the Lord? All roads lead to Rome. Yes. Tanya, hello. Oh, nice to see you as well. Not that I'm really seeing you, but nice to see you're here. Thanks for spending some time. Everyone with hands, let's go. Let's go. All right. Really worried about where we are. Hell is my best guess. Yes. Indeed, right. 88 is the element. Is that radium? Ra, radium. 88 is mysticism. It's linked to higher states. I should be putting all these on the screen, shouldn't I? Consciousness or ascension through duality. Just a couple of read in my travels. Cool. Not of the world. How you going? I see you there saying hello to everyone. Svenbots, we're in hell. Are we in hell? 77 in numerology is Jesus and Satan. Oh, there you go. The duality. 88 is infinity. Yeah. I know, right? So lots of stuff going on. And yeah, like I said, China. The population of China is, sorry, I'm just looking for the file, is decreasing. And, there's big questions over it. Basically, was it ever in the billions is the question that's been asked. But there's all these videos coming out. So let me just have one sec. And I'll show you a video or two. I'm sure I've got some here. But yeah, Shanghai, all these big cities. And of course, Kelly went to China last year and she came back and reported the same thing, that it was empty. So I'll see if I've got a short of it. Shorts. Okay, here's something that I can probably show. Hopefully it's informative in the right video. And my computer works. Come on, computer. But yeah, this is the thing. Kelly went there and it was empty, but the infrastructure is all there. The ghost cities as well is the other one, right? They got 1,300 million plus ghost cities. So I'll just come back and share this for you. But yeah, so this is, there's lots going on, man. There's lots going on. Oh, now I've completely lost. Maybe I can just share screen. Hang on. Okay, so this is just a little clip. I'm not actually sure which one it is. I can't see the play button there.
As Huimin wrote in Shanghai, it used to be very lively here, but now the buildings are deserted and the streets are empty. A netizen said, when I went to Shanghai 10 years ago, there were a lot of people and you had to queue up to cross the road. Now it's really a world of difference. I really can't understand it. There are very few people in the village, and I don't expect there are so few people in Shanghai either. Where do all the people go? Guess what kind of shopping mall this is? It's completely empty, except for a few restaurants that are still open. It's almost empty and deserted. In recent times, netizens on Chinese social platforms have pointed out that the number of people in shopping malls and on the streets has obviously decreased, and everywhere is deserted. Only in hospitals are there many people, and many crematoriums are packed with people. Some netizens said that it felt like many people around them had died, including many young people. People in mainland China believe that the authorities forced has led to the deaths of a large number of young and middle-aged people, among which the sudden death of people born in the 1980s has become the norm.
So there you go. China, I've actually, the Tartaria Australia podcast, Friday night, 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. That's what we're talking about. So we show a lot of the clips, a lot of what's going on, stats on the population and what people think it is and why it's actually not. At the most, it's probably half what they tell us, like 700 million, but more than likely there's like 300 to 400 million people in China is what the stats are coming out as. So what's going on, and on top of that, like I said, all the ghost cities. So it's interesting, right? But yeah, tune in on Friday and for the discussion on it and what's really going on, because there's a few, different sort of thoughts on what might be happening. Of course, 2020, the fish markets, shall we say, that could be a massive factor, of course, but there's a lot of other weird stuff going along with it, just like basically whole towns just disappearing and stuff. It's very weird, but it is 2025, right? Miss Tree, hello, 5 a.m. South Coast, says, what's SC? South Carolina Coast, is it? Am I right? Welcome. Plenty more where they came from. Well, this is the other thing, right? They seem to be in every other country of the world. Are they just shifting populations? Because the interesting thing about that footage, empty cities, right? Where have we seen empty cities before? Last time we heard about a reset back in the 1800s, 1850s, lots and lots of empty cities, right? We've all seen the photos, and that seems to be, oh, my door's creaking open. That seems to be what we're seeing again now. So again, is this a cycle? Mr. Schwab, who's stepped down, he told us we're in a reset, right? But the reset, it's everywhere. So are we just doing a loop? Are we seeing, because now you can get photos of empty cities, right? Are these photos going to be around in 200 years, and everyone's sort of saying, wow, why are there no people there? What's going on? Probably the harvest has begun. Well, yeah. The restaurants have, wow. Yeah, that's a nice rabbit hole to dig into. We did a show on that a couple of weeks ago, actually. Where's all the meat from the fast food come from? But is the answer, because when you look up the stats, the consumption is like way more than the production, like 4 times or something of meat, apparently. Is it just because they're fudging the numbers, that they're trying to make it look like there's 8 billion people here, when I think most of us here realize there's probably nowhere near that, right, in the realm, maybe 1 billion or 2, but how do we know, right? Yeah, how big is the human population anyway? It is a little bit disturbing. Where are they going? Suspicious Observers YouTube channel, also Randall Carson at the Randall Carson YouTube channel. Randall Carson, yeah. Randall likes to push everything back into the past and talk about ice ages 12,000 years ago, and that may have happened, but I think a lot has happened since then, much closer to us. Oh, Magic, what happened? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that too. Haven't seen. Oh, your dad. Oh, geez, man. Sorry to hear that. Hope you're doing all right. Yes, hope he had a long, happy life. Remember the handicap getting priority on the snake venom. No, I don't think I heard that story. What, on the snake venom? Oh, are you talking about the thing? Did they? They got priority. Replacing people with robots. Oh, robots are getting crazy, man. Really, really crazy, right? They've got them break dancing now and doing backflips. There's horses. Did you see that? There's like robot horse things like robots you can ride that run around and jump. They look more like a wolf or something, but they're calling them horses. It's getting very, very strange, man. Okay, it's Cam from Wookie Hole in England. Wookie Hole. Is that the name of the place you live? That's a cool, very Star Trek kind of a name. Thanks for the link to the Tartaria Australia Spotify. Oh, yes, links below, guys. We're on Spotify. I'm now uploading every weekly podcast, and then on Friday, and then midweek I'm uploading our backlog, basically, just to get it all up there. So Spotify, if you're on Spotify, link below, subscribe, listen to us while you're driving. My neighbor is from China, sells Chinese art to Japan. Oh, interesting. I mean, this is the thing, like at the same time with China, we've got this whole tariff thing going on, right? And the result that we're being shown, the result of that is that China are coming out and saying, well, look, we make everything. We make all the designer labels for like $10 and you pay $100 for them. Ha ha ha, come buy them from us. So the whole tariff thing is interesting with if the population in China is suddenly decreased, that's going to affect their output, right, of production. So are the tariffs just, a way to sort of mask the fact that there's no people there to make the stuff anymore? That's why there's going to be less of it. Because, these guys, they're all in the same club, right? Like politics, man, it's a group. It's actually a corporation, right? A corporation. And something I heard the other day, which I hadn't really thought about, is all this stuff about, corporations, which is every country and all this stuff. And maritime law, where they treat us like we're dead. They're necromancers, man. They're necromancers. That's why the judges wear the black capes and the priests and all this. The whole thing, and we know, right? It's a DEATH cult, right? We know this. You've got to be careful with what you say, though, and that's why we know this, right? There's a couple of words you can't say, and it's basically who these people are and what they do. They're the naughty words, right? Which kind of is the proof that, they're the ones in control doing this stuff. So yeah, all robots are remote controlled. Satan always pretends to be more powerful than he really. Well, I definitely believe that they pretend that they're more powerful than they are. Oh, hello, Lee. Yes, it's me. Oh, you're on Facebook. Yes, I finally reconnected my Facebook. So hello on Facebook. If anyone else is out there, drop me a hello and let me know that you're watching on Facebook. So I do have some pictures and stuff to go through. I'm just having a bit of a chat. It's been a while. Court is a ritual. Yeah, man. Don't get caught. That's a run, right? It's a ship. It's a ship. It's got the docks. It's got all the stuff. It's got the man in the dress and the funny wig. That's where drag queens originated, apparently. This is what I'm hearing. But yeah, court is definitely a ritual, and it's about dead people. They can only deal with dead people because they're necromancers. So the way to get around them is to basically let them know that you're alive and you're not ink on a piece of paper or a photo. Sharon, how are you going? Late, but glad to be here. You're not that late. 20 minutes. We've just really been chatting, talking a bit about the Pope, Klaus Schwab, the last president, all this stuff. 2025, right? Because I haven't done a live in 2025. There you go. Maybe we should turn that into a song. Being alive is a ritual. Oh, it's Fendabs. In Gematria, ritual equals 81. Kobe scored 81 points in his 666 games. Well, there you go. Well, I mean, there's people who think that everything is scripted and they look at the different codes and join them up, and it could be. It's interesting. I haven't really gone into that too deeply. I don't think there was ever 2 billion people. I was there in 2005-ish and travelled by train. Next to nobody farm. Yeah, that's like most of the world. Hello, Jalelo. That rhymes. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I've travelled in the last couple of years. I've done like 15 or more states in the US. I've done what did I do, like 5 countries in Europe, and a lot of Australia. And there's no one. It's all empty. It's unless you hit a city, unless you're in a city, it's pretty much empty, and even the cities these days, have you guys noticed that there's less people around? Because even the cities, if I think back to when I was a kid, going through the city, on a weekend, there were people, it was packed, or, rush hour, even just any time really, there were people everywhere, right? And yes, I know we've got the internet now. A lot of people don't go out and everything's online and they don't go shopping as much. But there just seems to be a decrease in people across the realm. And what can we attribute that to? Is that from the, the jibby jabby, or is that from something else? Like this whole new earth, right, that we talk about, this whole split. Is that happening somehow on a frequency level? But you'll have to watch Friday night, Tartaria, Australia, to get the whole conversation. I don't want to spill too much. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that, Gabrielle. Yes, hurts, definitely. I was there, I haven't been there for like almost 2 years now, but when I was there, totally. And this is the thing about China, is that it's supposed to be a communist country, right? And what we're taught about communism is the people can't just leave, right? Kind of defeats the purpose of communism, right? So how are there Chinese everywhere? There were Chinese people who owned like the fast food shops, or not not fast food, but like the food takeaway food shops in Serbia, right? In Serbia. Like, so how does this happen? How are they going into all the countries when it's a communist country? Like, it sounds like the whole big thing is just a boogeyman, right? It's like in 1984 when there was this constant boogeyman of this big country overseas that had this massive population, and you had to be fearful of them or they'd come and, attack you and take you over your country. I mean, they've only got one good script. They're good at following the script. They're not very creative. I think it's the same thing. Oh, gigantic crocodile. You're going off to record a song. Awesome. Enjoy. Lots of Chinese-owned farms in America now. Yes, I've heard that they also, were they the farms that they bought next to military bases or something? And in Australia, the Chinese own half the water. Like, they own the water. Like, our government has been selling our waterways to China. Heaps of land, farmland, and heaps of resources. And they get it for pennies on the dollar and don't pay, any tariffs or any money back to the country on, whatever they're mining. It's absolutely crazy. It's the soft takeover, right? But I mean, saying that, it's all a game as well, right? It's all a game. It's all a game. Just trying to get our attention when we really should sort of probably focus on what we want to focus on, right? Like exploring the past and history. Should we have a look at some pictures? I have been rabbiting on for quite a while. Let me see. Have I got this? Actually, no, I know what I was going to show. I thought, should we have a look? I've got a few that are from Egypt. So where am I? So I'm still working out how to drive this share screen. I think this is it. All right, yes. So this this website's called Gallica, GALLICA.fr. We'll get you there. It's French. And if you're ever looking for sites with lots of old books and stuff, this is one of them. Check it out. So this is Egypt, 1823 to publication 1860. So I haven't really had a good look at this, but I saw some pyramids and thought it might be interesting. So let's just try and get this bigger. Zoom. Does that work? All right. What was it? 1860s, Egypt. There's our pyramids. That's an interesting line, isn't it? What is that? Must be something in the photo. And some buried stuff here. Let's hope these get better. I haven't looked at these. But I mean, this is what we see everywhere, right? Mud flood. Like, Egypt's an interesting place. Oh, how do I go? Oops. Sorry, I think I have to keep it like this to get to the next picture. Oh, God. There we go. All right. What's that like? It's not too bad. All right. So there you go. Old buildings rotting away. But there are some pictures in here. Obviously, the Sphinxy boy, when it was buried up to its neck at one point, and for most of its time in recorded history, in the where it's mentioned in the history books, uncovered in the 1900s. I'm sure you all knew that, though. And of course, then we've got the whole Robert Schoch, like water erosion lines. How did that happen? And that's part of the narrative. That's pushed for the sort of 10,000 years in the past, but I believe that this was all built earlier. So here's some better shots, sort of some more interesting. So here's the head of the Sphinx, and look what's underground here. You can see this keeps going down. This is like some temple that looks like they're still uncovering. So there's stuff everywhere under Egypt, and of course, recently we had that story go viral, right, about what was under one of these pyramids. Oh my gosh, I think my screen is frozen. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. Under one of these, right? We all saw it. The big machine that they say is down there. Is it? I'm not sure. But there's something down here, right next to the pyramid. Buried walls, right? The tops of some building. And I mean, I think they look but they look like bricks, right? Can't go any further, but they look like bricks, but they do look like big bricks. There you go. And what I wanted to show you really was all the different, here's the step pyramids, which they say were built before the Great Pyramids, but I think they were built afterwards, trying to emulate them. All right, so here we have some of the temples of Egypt. Now, number one, look at the size of this, right? People down here. Lots of, what are these holes? I'm not sure, but when you look at this, you can see it's all sectioned, right? You can see there's cuts here for, lintels, I guess, where the lintels meet, but the cuts go up into here, up in the top, right? When you look at the pillars, have they got cuts? See, it looks like they do, but they've been covered in something, right? What are these horizontal striations? And down here, it looks like these bits have cuts on the edges. It might not be, but the thing about Egypt is a lot of these massive old temples, you can see it here as well, they seem to either have been built in pieces. You see this in Thailand as well, at Angkor Wat and around sort of the Asian area. They look like they're either made in sections and put together, or they've been moved maybe. At some point they've been put into sections. And this is what I saw a lot in the Balkans, was with their castles and stuff. It looked, I don't know, it just had this feeling of a theme park, right? And of course, what is Egypt but a big theme park, right? It's the biggest history theme park in the world, right? That's why I'm not allowed to question it and look behind the stage. And I mean, look at how big this thing is. And I'm not saying that that's the case with all of these temples, but there's a lot that just has that feel to it. I haven't been to Egypt yet. I will be getting there if the world doesn't get too crazy. Oh, let's go forward. No, hang on. Oh my gosh. Come on. Okay. Sorry, let me just reset this page, and it's gone. So this website is good, but it often will, oh my God, does this and dies. All right. Okay, so I'm back. What I can do is look at some other pictures. I have a backup. Oh, hang on, this isn't, no, sorry, that's not going to work. I need to do it this way. Oh my gosh. Sorry guys, my computer is extremely slow at the moment. I do have about 1,500 tabs open, so that may be part of the problem. Share screen. All right, let's look at some other pictures. These are just random pictures until Gallica decides to work. Yeah, here you go. Domed building, showing the interiors. So these must be, oh, okay, that's an amphitheater. And it just sort of shows us the internal architecture. I thought this was quite interesting. And this is like all the building. Unfortunately, it's not telling me exactly what it does, but of course, this dome looks like a big resonator, smaller resonator. These columns could be coils. You know, they could have metal wrapped around other metal, basically copper or something, and be covered. I'm not sure. Or they could work as, they might vibrate, right? Like tuning forks. Still working out the columns, but the columns we get everywhere, and we also get different ones. There's ones that seem to be solid, there's ones that seem to be hollow, and then there's ones that seem to be solid but made in sections and stacked up. It's very strange, but that's what we used to build, right? Oh, what's this? Okay, so this is Fort Bourgogne, is that how I say it? In France. And I was looking to star forts this week, just trying to work out what's going on with these star forts. And I realized that a lot of them, you know, run across water, right? We know this. And more importantly, run across salt water. So, and of course, you know, lots of these forts, of course, they're not forts, but lots of these are called batteries. So is this a saltwater battery, with an anode and a cathode, and you just run a weak charge across the salt water, and you can create electricity, right? Is that what's going on? Is this shape creating the charge that's running across the salt bridge? What do you reckon? I don't know. This is Chicago, 1893, and this one is interesting because look at these buildings, you know, all built perfectly, completely symmetrical, like literally wall to wall, but they're all different buildings. All built, you know, without a mistake, right? And then what do we have at the bottom? Everyone's hanging these wooden and cloth awnings off them to have their little markets in. And their market is literally their horse and cart. It's how they get their cart. They just reverse the cart and pull down their awning, and that's their shop. Right? So we're supposed to believe that these people doing this are the ones also who built these buildings. 1893 this is. So either that or the children of the people who built these. I mean, that's a bit of a decline, isn't it? Which is what we see everywhere in the old world. Now this, I came across this. This is Chicago in 1928. And look at this, we'll call it an anomaly, right? Look at this. You know, obviously I looked at that and thought, oh, it's just when they're developing it, you know, someone's, I don't know, spilled something. It's a nice little line, right? But then if we look in here, look at this. Look at this massive structure. This is obviously a pier and, you know, a bathhouse at the end. And these used to be everywhere as well, by the way. And look, that looks like a hovercraft. How cool. But look at this light. Goes straight through the top of the dome on this bathhouse. And when you zoom in, it's obviously not the best contrast, but look, it sort of, can you see it kind of goes around those towers straight into the middle, and it kind of blends in, right? It blends into the photo. Let me go up here and we start getting these sparkly bits, right? Comes across through the tip of this tower, right, which happens to be this massive oversized cathedral, right? So from that dome to this tower, and then it goes down into the ground. And again, it just kind of seems to fade. You know, you can sort of see a bit around this tower, whatever it is, but I don't know. I mean, obviously I thought that's, you know, a developing problem. But what do you reckon? Could that be something else? Could they have caught something? Is that some free energy action happening? What do you reckon? Let me see. Can I see? Maybe star forts with trains. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at my other screen. I've got two screens going. I'm very, very technological, right? I'll read later what you say. But yeah, what do you reckon? Like, I mean, it's an interesting photo at the least, right? From this map. I mean, and look at the size of this cathedral compared to, you know, like you can see 3 windows here. So that's a 3-story building. I'm going to go here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5. So this is what, 6 or 7. So this is like a 15-story building, and it just looks like nothing next to this cathedral. Cathode ray, right? Out to the dome, the salt water. Battery. Ooh, what do you reckon? Hang on. I want to see what you think of that, so I'm going to stop the share. And then we'll come back. There's more photos. What do you think? Developing issue. Yes, that was definitely my first thought. It's just interesting, isn't it? YouTube just totally wigged out. Had to reopen browser. Oh, yeah, right. Well, my other thing wigged out too. There's lightning. There's light coming off the top of the skyline a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you reckon? Hello, Marcel. Only 2 comments, guys. All right, we're going back to it. I don't know. It just looks interesting. Interesting is what I would say. It is interesting. Very big cathedral, though. Okay, so this is Cologne, France, 1729. And again, in the front, villagers. Got a donkey here. He's holding onto his basket. Got this old dude hiking up the hill with his stuff on his backpack. Right, you know, not a lot of tech going on. Don't know what's going on with this lady's foot. And then down here, right, spires, free energy spires everywhere, and look across the water. Look at this Star City. Look at all those spires. It's inspiring, right? And then we got 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. Is it a 4th? 3 massive cathedrals, and there's like half-size ones here and here and here and here, and then just towers everywhere. This is, you know, what was around in 1729 in France, and now look at the world we inhabit. How does that happen? Wow. You get invaded by parasites, I think is how it happens. Here's Cologne again. So yeah, salt, right? Salt bridge. And what I found is a lot of these star forts have bridges, and a lot of the time the bridges are metal, right? And literally in a what's that cell called? You know, just in a salt cell, the metal that goes across the salt bridge is called a bridge. You know, it's called a bridge, right? So it's interesting. Are they actual salt batteries? I need to do a bit more. Oh, that's not very interesting, is it? All right, where's this? This is Dunan Castle. I have no idea where this is. The door's going underneath. And looking pretty old, right? But still, you know, this, you know, built by kings and queens and stuff, they say, back in the 1200s or something, no doubt. Look at the work along here. I mean, look, every one of these is identical, and they've all got, like, look at that, they've got a ring of curved bricks on the top, just for no reason at all. There's an archway here, probably because that's over the window. I mean, it's just a different way to build, right? Free energy spires, not the best photo, this one, sorry. Haven't really checked any of these out, but, you know, what are cathedrals? You know, windows, all these, you know, logos, designs, symbols all over them, spires, arched, right? Arched roofs, pointed. I think they're machines. I think that all these buildings are machines, at least the big ones that we got left. I mean, look at this. What's going on there? Look at the, like, that just looks like a rocket. Doesn't look like Katy Perry's rocket, because that looked like a penis. There's, oh, and there's bells, right? Bell tower. The bells, the bells. That actually looks like one of those war hats, right? With a spike on it. But this is all tech, right? All working together. We just got to work out how exactly it worked and then turn it back on. So I don't think it's too hard. I think, you know, you've got resonation, that they use bells as resonators, get the frequency right, draw down ether energy into it, store it in bricks, and use it. You know, I mean, water's free energy too, right? I mean, look at this castle. Look at this thing. I have no idea where this is, by the way. Danaan. I think this might be in France. Massive, massive buildings. All right, they weren't the best. What is this? The elevation. Belvedere, Temple of Nature. Temple of Nature. And again, right, this is the stuff that was being built back in the day. Always with the columns. Always with the symmetry. Always with the domes, right? Looks like there's a dome behind that. Always with the antennas, which they turn into flagpoles. That looks like it's been religionified. L'amour de género humain. What's that mean? What's l'amour of the general human? I don't speak French. I'll read it. All right, balloons in flight. That's interesting. It's got birds. But look, we've got balloons flying around. Now this is, we've got a date. It's Feast of the Concord, it says. No date. But what are we thinking? 1700s? Look at these people. All right, well dressed, hanging out, just hanging with each other by the looks of it. You know, they don't look like they've got 9 to 5 jobs, do they? But they could be the gentry. I'm not sure if this is probably post-reset, because we've got some army drummer boys here. We've got horns, again, more sound technology. And look at the buildings. They're just these colonnaded outdoor pergolas. And what's this? Maybe they're waiting for a big statue, right? They're trying to show us this is how they got the statues in place. Oh, here we go, 1804. The 12th from air on the 13th, 3rd December, 1804. 1800s. Look at the tech, look at the buildings, look at the world they inhabited. And now we live in worlds where everyone's living on the street almost, right? Empty cities. 1887, Frankfurt, Germany. And of course, Germany was a massively old world, place. Looking at maps today, it used to be spelled G-I. And then it was also Germania, and Saxony. They'll have to change the spelling, right? The words. Hohenkinsberg in Elphus. What's Elphus, I wonder? 1633. And they're throwing cannonballs at each other by the looks of it. But, again, 1633. That's pre every type of tool, right? Apart from some basic chisels and, wooden tools and stuff. And they're building this on the top of a hill, no doubt. And of course, these castle hills are different. You can see that looks like it's got a star formation around it. But they're clearly different to the star forts, at least in function, to the star forts that we see on the water. So what's their purpose, I wonder? This is the Holt-Koensberg Castle, 1891, and I think, is this no, maybe it's not. I'm thinking it might be the fairy tale castle in Germany. But again, look what they're building, and look where they're building it. Top of a hill, and this is a good one, right? This is 1891. So we've got this, massive stone construction on the top of a hill, stories and stories high, with all these really high inspired roofs, right? And what do we have at the bottom but a picket fence made out of wood? Talk about two different types of technology, right? And then again, look at the people. He's on his donkey. He's walking along, singing a song. This is, Paris, 1867. Exposition Universelle. So this is a World's Fair. Okay, and again, we have these massive constructions in the background, buildings, a lot of chimneys. Look at this domed building here. And then this is what they're building it all with, wood. Right, they've got the little struts here of wood. Down here, they've got their tent and wood. Right, they've got their tents here. This is it looks like horse carriages or something, and a tent. And then we have these, this clearly looks like a masonry building with a very intricate roof on it. We've got domes, we've got masonry stuff everywhere. We've got bits of castles. Again, two different types of technology, right? One of these things does not fit. Sorry, my door is blowing in the wind. I might have to get up and shut it one tick. All right, this is a bridge. And with boats as the piers. Can't read that. This is the kind of stuff they were designing and building in the old world, right? This would never enter the mind of a civil engineer today, right? To build a bridge with boats as the columns. Crazy. But that's what they did. Again, look at this, a massive colonnaded area, and look at the size of the people. This is Project June, Bibliothèque Verlique. That thing is massive. Just look at all the statues on the top just to make those, right? But what are these places? What were they really built for? You don't do things this big for no reason. Were they built by bigger people? Possibly. Were they built big because they were big, they had to be big, right? Because they're machines. They needed big chambers or something. Again, people just hanging around. Top hat man here. Saint-Michel. This is in France. Reminds me of Monty Python and the Holy Grail. And they're throwing insults at each other. Saint-Michel again. Look at this. Look how intricate that stuff is. Again, sorry, not the best photos. You can sort of see, right? Look how intricate that is. And all these knobs that come off everything. This has actually got an antenna up there. And this is the island that you would have all seen. It's just inside. This is it too. Again, colonnaded areas, right? These areas, and they're just surrounded by columns. What are they? Arcs. Are they sending arcs, right? Arches, arcs. And then we have all these symbols, which I'm sure will tell us what to do if we could read them. 3, could that be something to do with 3, 3 circuits like vortex maths, positive, negative, and earth? Could be. Just inside a cathedral, as you do. I mean, look at this crazy stuff. Oh, there's someone. Hello. Hello. It looks like it's just been jammed in between these buildings, but I'm sure these buildings have just been sort of built onto it. But I went through lots of towns in the Balkans that had gateways like this, literally, and, these towns that are like this, Saint-Michel, that are built on hills, and they have walls going all the way up on one road that sort of spirals around. And then big cathedrals. I didn't go to one as big as this, but look at that one. And this, of course, floods during high tide, which it probably didn't used to, right? Because look at these houses right down. No doubt they turn into Venice. There you go. There's a little boat. Shows the water. And more columns and arches, or archivolts. This shape, when see how it's got multiples on them. When they're in doorways, they're called archivolts. An interesting word, right? Or archivolts, volt, voltage, arc, electric arc. And I think it's all there in the spelling. So these could just be like complex machines that are sending, different arcs of electricity to different areas. Again, right? Everywhere. They're everywhere. See, it could just be all interacting, building a charge maybe till it gets to a certain point. And here you go. These are the pillars that you can see are sectional. See, cut into sections and stacked up is what they look like has happened. And, I've seen them when they're toppled and you can see the section. They just look, they're just made of stone or, some kind of concrete or something. But I have seen some that look like they got a metal bar in them, which I figured was just to help stack them. But obviously they're all components to something. This is a casino. I'm going to do some looking into this. This is 1873 in Seine, France, and it's just this old world building sitting right on the beach, and it's a casino. And it got my interest, so I need to look into it more. So this is a bit more about the architecture, right? And the columns. Right, and the columns always have something on top of them, right? These here look like more like what they call victory columns, but they're just columns with statues on the top of them. Obviously, the small architect. That looks like a rather large architect. But it shows all the components here. I find it interesting that, see, they put all these together to show them. And when they do, that kind of looks like a pipe organ, right? Are they sort of showing us something there? We've got internal domes in these roofs. All based on geometry, right? What is going on? All right. There you go. Bit of a dodgy picture show because, my website stopped working. 326 of you watching. Thanks for being here. And we've gone for an hour. All right. What's everyone saying here? L'amour is French for love. Okay. Thank you. I thought that I'd heard that before. Cymatics. Yes. Cymatics everywhere. Star forts, cathedrals, everything. Do you mean the world revelation changing? Are we talking to me? Do you mean the word revelation changing allegedly? This is revealing our revelations before Mandela. Oh, okay. So what? Yeah, did the word revelations change? Did it? I saw the latest Black Mirror episode. Or I don't know if it's the latest one. Actually, it was episode 2 of the latest series about the Mandela effect. Quite interesting. And what is the Mandela effect? I might have to do a show on it just to get everyone's thoughts, right? Because we still, don't have an answer. We have theories, but we don't have an answer. There are pics of old buildings being constructed. This is bullcrap. With this, we can't build this, and we can, and we have. There are pics of old buildings being constructed. Oh, okay. Still saying that we built all these buildings. Mr. Galaxy Man, well, please put out a video and show all your construction photos. We've been looking for them for years. There's definitely been photos found of finished buildings with, ladders leaning against them that aren't construction. We've never ever found a set of photos of any famous building being constructed in stages. They don't exist. If they do, please make a video, dude. Put it out. Capacitors, yes. The pillars could be. I think the buildings also capacitors, right? We know that red bricks can hold charge, and you sit them in a mortar bed, with different substances, and they create a capacitor. Basilica and Expiatory Church of the Holy Family in Barcelona, Spain, is worth visiting. Cool. I can't picture that one in my mind, which one it is, but Spain's got lots of cool stuff. That's got the Gaudi. Is that the Gaudi museum church they're still building? Tartaria and tech is magnificent. I agree. Revelations. Oh, okay. Did the spelling in Revelations change? Well, I don't know. There's a lot has changed in the Bible. God's name is now jealous. Did you know that? Roman Colosseum had iron bars in the columns. They pulled them out. Thank you. Yeah, I thought I'd seen some pictures along the way of iron bars inside the middle of columns. I've definitely seen some broken ones that are hollow. But yeah, what's the function? Because, places like the Vatican with their big, arched or curved, arced colonnades, that they're pretty, they're very extravagant. What were they built for? They've got to have a purpose, right? Who said that humans didn't build it? Whoops, sorry. Mr. Galaxy. It's just old tech. I agree. It's tech that we don't understand today. That's what we're doing here. We're trying to understand it. And who said that humans didn't build this? Do you think this is an alien channel? Do you think we're saying aliens built all this? It's got to be aliens, right? Because wrong channel, sorry. It's 3 a.m. in the US. All right. Lucas, where are you? 3 a.m. Jeez. East Coast? Is East Coast? Power stations? Yes. Maybe empowering stations, right? Cathedrals. Good vibes. Thank you, Joanne. Thanks for being here. Mercury arc rectifiers. Yes, and they exist. Paul Cook found some. He's the only person I know who's actually found some, but yeah, man. Oh, and that's not that old. He found them in a cinema from like the 40s or 50s, I think. Fascies, yes. I mean, they could definitely work similar to fascies. I guess you're talking about the columns and the colonnades. It's, it's a good connection, right? That's what a fascies is a bunch of normally copper, right? Tubes tied together with brass, different metals. So, yeah, they connected through the arcs, right? The arches, but the same concept. Interesting. Oh, thank you, Katawaki. Thank you for being here. Cliff High talks about the Mandela effect. Hey, Matt, how you doing? Good to see you. How is everything? Yes, we would like. Yes, we would like to see it. Yes, to that dude. Samantha, how you going? Thanks for being here. What kind of alert in Bulgaria? Oh, what alert? Was there an alert? I didn't hear about it. Bulgaria is an interesting country. Apparently the cheapest country in Europe, and it's awesome. It's full of Tartarian stuff. Want us to go there, right? Do a tour. Be a cheap place to go. Sometimes they're painting already built. Yeah, oh, totally. That's what all this, renovation is about. And obviously the World's Fairs, they went in and, there are pictures of lots of wood lying around and no tools, and apparently that's how they built them. But yeah, I think they were building some facades and entrances and just painting everything up. They probably built a few wooden shops, little things. But yeah, everything gets refaced, right? Refacaded. That's how they get their Freemasonry. They renovate it, which is to renovate. And novate is to do with having the ownership of a building. So they renovate it. It's basically they write a new contract for the building. Renovate, right? It's all spelling. I don't know much about Mandela effects helping you win the game. I don't know much about Mandela effects helping you win the game. Are they? They're interesting. Some of us remember them. Some of us remember one reality, and some don't seem to remember that reality. It's an interesting thing. But some of them are just silly, like the sword in the stone. Who remembers the sword in the stone? I might have to show you this one. Let me see. Yeah, remember that there was a Disney cartoon based on, obviously, Excalibur and King Arthur. And, I mean, where do you think the stone was? Where do you think the sword was? Sorry. Have a wild guess. Where would the sword be in a movie called The Sword and the Stone? Hang on. I'll go to the bottom of the comments because I'm way behind. Where do you think? Hang on. Let me. Have you told me where is the sword? I'm just going to show it. I can't hold myself. Okay, so remember, this is called The Sword in the Stone, right? Here we have a picture. That's a small picture. The Sword in the Stone, right? Gosh, that's a tiny image. Oh, gosh, I downloaded it. Is this one bigger? But there you go. Sword in the Stone. Can you see what the sword's in? Okay, this is what you would expect, right? I need to find a bigger picture though. But can you see what that is? Can you see what that is? The sword in the stone is now a sword in an anvil. I'm serious. It's an anvil. It's not a stone. Yet we get all these pictures, right? The legend of the sword and the stone. It's a sword in an actual stone, which you would kind of expect, being that it's called the sword in the stone. An anvil. Anyone got this little golden book? Crazy, right? So, I mean, some of these Mandela effects are just unbelievable. Oh my gosh. So here's a representation, a Sword in the Stone film. See? An anvil. All right. That's actually Excalibur, the Sword in the Stone. I mean, I find that kind of crazy, that one. But there's lots of crazy ones. Hi, I'm from Hungary. Oh, the Budapest Parliament is a massive old building. We have about 230 supposed elected criminals telling us how to live, housed in there. How you going, Leonora? Yeah, right, Hungary. Nice. Budapest, yes. I'd like to get back to Eastern Europe. Is that Eastern Europe? Well, the east side of Europe. Cool stuff there, man. It's different to what I thought it would be. The position of Australia cannot be a gaslighting. What do you mean? What's wrong? I'm in Australia. Where's Australia supposed to be? 5.6 earthquake alert in Turkey. Come and visit. Because there's an earthquake alert. I have a restaurant in Bulgaria. All right, Wado. Cool. Yeah, well, maybe I will organise something. Come and do a tour of Bulgaria. That would be fun, wouldn't it? I'm into that. Down under. I don't think Australia's down under. I'm not upside down. We're out on the outer ring. The Princess and the Pea is also sus. Yes. An anvil, right? Yes, exactly. That's a good one, right? Because most people would remember that it was in a stone, and even if they don't, it's called the Sword in the Stone. Oh, nice, Samantha. Go and check out the video. Yeah, man. I'll spin you out, right? It's been under construction since 1882. You have great memory. That is correct. I had to look it up. Is this? Yeah, this is okay. The Spanish cathedral. Yes, Gaudi. Is that what his name was? And yes, exactly. Mandela, exactly. Buddhism paintings and also fractal somatic designs. I might add, very similar to star forts and a lot of these symbols that we find, rose windows in cathedrals, all this kind of stuff, water crystals, Dr. Emoto. 5 a.m. in Texas. Yeehaw. Good morning. This is the best thing to wake up to. Oh, thank you, Natalie. Thanks for being here. Maybe the stone was softer due to pressure. You mean the sword and the stone? It turned into, but it's an anvil. It's an anvil. They put it in the Minion movie. Oh, what did they put in? The sword in the stone, or the sword in the anvil? I have a pair of scissors from a brand named Anvil. That is kind of weird. Mandela effect is gaslighting. Really, Peter? Well, do you remember the sword in the stone being in a stone or in an anvil? Do you remember mirror on the wall? I mean, there's a lot of strange Mandela's effect. Am I planning another trip? Hello, Tanya. Well, yes, definitely. At the moment, on the sly, didn't hear it from me. Pakistan is next year, January, February. But I definitely would like to get back to Eastern Europe as well. Bulgaria sounds good. All these countries that that I thought were sort of we didn't know much about, like Estonia and what's Belarus is another one. Like, there's all these cool countries out there. Of course, they don't want us to go there. It's all around the sort of, Ukraine kind of area, and of course, Russia's the big bad enemy. Also, they say. So close to Papua New Guinea. Yeah, we're pretty close to Papua New Guinea. Not too far. So sad the Christchurch earthquakes. Yes, they did. They did. I mean, they're still taking them down, I think, right? Tesla invented an earthquake machine, like a little box thing you could put on the side of a building and it would basically demolish it. Google Maps isn't real. I know. I was looking on Google Earth. I mean, I've been on Google Earth, for like 10 years. I would have seen it when it was brand new. And it used to be pretty good. You used to be able to see a lot of stuff. Nothing was blurred out. I guess at least at the top and the bottom, right? But now it's so bad. It's like playing Minecraft or something. That's what the graphics are like. The Mandela gets me is Curious George and his tail. What do you mean his tail? He doesn't have a tail. He never had a tail. And he's a monkey. So that's another weird one, right? Like he's a monkey without a tail. He's not a chimpanzee. Chimpanzees don't have tails, of course. The long building is a rope factory. Which long building? We from Oz just refuse to participate. I refuse to participate. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you. Paul, love to you too. Thank you. Vibes. Whoop, whoop. All right. Julianne Hanson. Frio. I was in Frio last year. Julianne, my family's from Perth. And yeah, I went a couple of times. I was in Perth for a few months. Cincinnati, Ohio. How you going? Dirty Minds 42. The Mandela effect is the Matrix, the Maya tricks, gaslighting us. Yeah, I mean, whatever it is, it pretty much definitively proves that the world is not what we've been told it is, that it's not physical, that it's, we're told that the earth is not malleable, that reality is not malleable, right? It's all physical, made up of little balls. But the Mandela effect tells us that that's different, because we remember different timelines to other people. Things literally change. And, the only argument against that would be mass psychosis, but there's no proof of anything like that. And I don't think I have psychosis. Go for a walk around inner Melbourne. Some of those buildings have been there for centuries. Yeah, man. Yep. We did 2 events in Melbourne. We did some walks around. Melbourne's awesome. Expo building, but I mean, just the buildings in the streets. I mean, Melbourne's got like skyscraper, tall buildings, like 20 stories tall with old world tops on them, like domes and stuff way up on the top. Oh, no way. Illuminumi confirmed. 333 watching. Oh, okay. Is that what you're saying, that we're closer to Indonesia as getting closer to New Zealand? New Zealand is slipping further away. New Zealand seems to be further south than I remember. Sri Lanka is madness. You mean a place to go? It does look pretty nice. Tropical, right? Has it got any old world stuff? In Dutch, they still say mirror, mirror on the wall. Yeah, that's what we say. Like, no one says magic mirror on the wall because that's from the new timeline that we don't remember. Have I been to Portugal? No, I have not. Lots of places to go. Lots and lots. Google last flight over Mount Erebus. Sky was clear, but they crashed into the only mountain. Interesting. Mount Erebus, that sounds interesting. YouTube channel Essential Craftsman. The Empire State Building construction of 1932 leaves me speechless. Sandy Paradise. Oh, okay. Construction, I'll have a look. I would like to see the construction of the Empire State Building. What's up with the Princess and the Pea? Have you interviewed Santos Bonacci? I haven't. I've been on. I was on his show a couple of times. He interviewed me, I guess, a couple of years back when he had the Syncretism Society. I actually was part of that and produced some content for him, but I haven't spoken to him for a while. Keep us posted on your travel plans on the slide. Oh, I will. Yes, as soon as things are confirmed, I will let you know. Thank you, Hippie Shake, as usual. Been to PNG, white guys, big drinkers, black fellas, warriors. I used to live in PNG when I was like 2. I lived in Bougainville, so I'm a Bogan from heart. But I don't remember it. Because Dad was in mining, and that's what we do, right? We go up and mine the crap out of PNG. Lots of good stuff there. What's on the other side of what we see? What's on the other side of what we see? I guess that would be the inside of our head. Is that, what do you mean? The other reality through a window, the back of your cranium. I mean, these are all. What is reality, right? That's the big question. What is reality? Reality, I think, is what we create it to be. I think it's all based on. It's all created by us through thoughts. Thoughts become things, and a good piece of evidence for that is the fact that those that wish to control us, the parasites, spend most of their energy on trying to make us think certain things, right? Education, movies, TV, social media, music, news, experts, blah, 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 blah. It's all to get us to think what they want us to think. And that's so that we create the world that they want created. So I think that's what reality is we create it. Hunworld, how you going? Good to see you, mate. Over there you're in the Netherlands, aren't you? Or is it Denmark? Netherlands, I think. Yes. Yeah, man. Shazza. Yeah, Shazza. A bogan from Bogan. I've even got my black jumper on. Well, actually, it's not very bogan. It's Tartaria, Australia. Woohoo. Link below. Go and get some t-shirts, hoodies. There's auto merch and Tartaria Australia merch. There it is. What is a creation? What is a creation of our consciousness? What creates our consciousness? Well, probably us. I mean, it's hard to prove any of this stuff when you're down in this reality, right? But, it seems that everything is one, everything's connected, everything's energy, divided by frequency. And so I think at the end of it all, we'll probably just realize that we are each other. We are everyone, like split into fractals so that we can experience things. That's kind of my best answer. Own your inner bogan, mate. Yeah, mate. I can own my inner bogan. All right. Well, I've been going for about an hour and a half. So ideas come out of the ether. I agree. Mind over matter is key. Exactly right. Matter. What you focus on matters. Right? What you focus on matters. Meaning where you put your attention and your thought energy, that will then manifest into something that is material, matter. So what you focus on matters. Electromagnetics, yes, they program us with the thoughts to form. I'll try that again. They program us with the thought forms to create the world that they want. I agree. This just popped up. I'm losing my mind. I grew up on Bougainville Island, 82 to 86, Bovo Primary. All right, quantum shifter. I wasn't there then. You don't know someone called Nick Ratcliffe, do you? I know he grew up there. I don't know if he was there that early. That's the only Bougainvillian I know. What's the matter? Yeah, what's the matter? What's the matter? Hey, why are you looking so sad? Yeah, exactly right. What is the matter? Well, it's whatever you think it is. I think that's it. I think that's what's happening with all this stuff, like the veil's lifting, right? The whatever, the matrix is collapsing, and that's, I think, is an overlay, which is a thought. It's a spell. It's a bunch of, we're under a spell, right? So we're seeing the world as it's being presented to us. We're not seeing it as it is or as we create it to be. Julia Koopmans, hello. We are the creator ghosts channeled into cells. Exactly. You think the rich people own yachts to get ready to leave the current known world when the Straits and Antarctica open up? Yeah. Yeah, I think. I mean, it's. I think that there's probably other lands that they already know about and have, infrastructure on, and that's probably why that they're doing all this dumb rocketry stuff to try and get everyone to believe that they're going into space. That's what they're focused on, right? Space, space, space. What does NASA do with its, what is it, $70 million a day or something? And it's definitely not building rocket ships or doing anything practical. So is that all just a stage show? I mean, clearly, Katy Perry was a massive stage show failure. The rescue from the ISS, CGI. So is that all being done to hide the fact that they're going sideways and there's extra land out past the ice wall? Is it done by submarines under the water? Thank you very much, Shaz Co. I appreciate your support. Thank you, thank you. The word for matter in Hebrew is Homer, as in Homer Simpson, home run. Interesting. Matter is Homer, the son of Simp. You don't want to be the son of a simp, do you? Jeez. Have you seen the video Rothschilds admitting that Walter Rothschild's? Yeah. Yes, I have. I'm actually watching Europa at the moment. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's on Rumble, Europa, The Last Battle, and it goes into all that kind of stuff, what's going on in the late 1800s to kind of now, who's behind it all with all the different revolutions, the communism, the wars. Good watch. You probably would have heard the name of the culprits before, but I can't, of course, say it. Because why? Because clearly what this documentary says is true. You cannot mention these people, if you know what I'm talking about. Do you think the lockdowns were to cover up the mass disappearing? I mean, maybe to a certain degree, but the disappearing people seems to be on the rise, getting more and more all the time. So I think they put a lot of infrastructure up in the lockdowns. A lot of 5G towers went up, a lot of things like that, a lot of dodgy stuff going on. Shops were put in as well, things were being built. I think can be used as an excuse, though, right? Like now people stay inside more because they're trained from the lockdown, and now they're all used to Skype and Zoom and Amazon. I think that what's happening is that we're going into a cycle, the end of a cycle that the parasites knew was coming, and so they've basically just built a big story up for decades to explain what's going to be happening. And this all started with climate change, right, or global warming. They tell us for decades that the climate's changing, and it's all our fault, right? Us, bad little humans, and those toxic farting cows, we're destroying the planet. And it's just to hide the fact that these changes are coming, that the cycle is changing. And all this water, all this flooding, a lot of it is coming up from underground. A lot of it, you can provably, I think, there's lots of geysers erupting and literally springs coming out of the water, out of the ground, and creating floods. And so is all this rain and storm that we're seeing everywhere Is that to hide that fact so that people don't see that the water's actually coming up, not coming down from the sky? This is a big agenda that they've been working on for a very long time. Forjax, how you going? Look at that. Thank you. Gifted 1 auto membership. Oh, who got it? Does it tell us who got it? Matter, Mate, Create. Homer's Odyssey. Yes, Shazko, it's all going to be okay. Keep fighting, team. Stick together with live. Does that mean with me on my lives? Stick together. Yes, I agree. Love. There we go. Stick together with love. Yes, if you do want to stick together, guys. Hello, Jordan. We are having a meetup in Northern Rivers, Northern New South Wales. It's going to be September. We were going to be coming to England, but that's going to have to be postponed, basically because we've got the farm, but we have to build it out so we can have an event there. So we went and we built the stage a couple of weeks ago. I've actually got some pictures I can show you. Let's do that. We went and built the stage and a few other bits, and so it's put us right back because it was raining the whole time. So we are what am I saying? So we're not going to be going to England this year. That'll be next year now. But we're having a gathering, Northern Rivers, Tabulum, September this year. And then something else coming up later in the year. Then Pakistan will be early next year, and then there'll be an England tour at some point next year as well, where I might jump across and do something else. That, if I'm there, why not? But yeah, so we were down the farm. There you go. That's me with my bogan clothes on. So this is going to become the stage, basically. That's the cow. So this is us starting. That's the cabin. This is the farm. So we've got to build a veranda off the front of this and put some shutters on the windows. That's just going to be like a meeting room. This is building. Oh my God, I'm not really that fat. I'm not. That's my tank top falling out. This is Dusty came and helped us. This is the stage. Lots of people came and helped us. All very cool people. Lots of fun. We built it. Had beers and wines around the campfire at night. It was very nice. Cabin, campfire. So I'm trying to get to where the stage is finished. More building, more building, more building. There you go. It's level. Kind of. It's very strong. Okay, the floor's starting to go down. I had lots of help. This is the Tabulum community. They brought their kids. And there you go. So it still needs an end on it. But that's basically the stage. Stage 1. So that's where we're going to do our event in September, down on the farm. So I've still got a bit of work to do. Got to clean this cabin up. Got to fix this as a shower room. Got to put it back on this. And a few other bits and pieces. But that's basically what's going down. And we're actually having like a busy bee in June if you want to come down and help us build something. All right. Samantha is super excited. Awesome. Good. Can't wait to see you there. Europo Doco, can we have a link? Oh, geez. Hang on. I just happen to have it, I think. Copy. Okay. Yes, you can have a link. Quantum shifts, yes, lots of nighttime activities still going on. Lots of stuff going on everywhere. Thanks, Shaz. The Chinese president is total scum. When I was in Belfast in Serbia, the Chinese president, I'm not sure what his name is, came into the country for a meeting or something, and they shut all of Belfast down from the airport to wherever he was going. We were on a tour bus. We got stopped. Like, everyone got stopped, even pedestrians. You couldn't walk. You couldn't move around the city because Mr. Chinese president came in. So, there you go. Make of that what you will. All right. Oh, Ping. Hello, Magic. How you going? Are you staging the truth? Nice work. Are you staging the truth? Yeah, well, hopefully. Our perspective of the truth. Yeah, that's the stage we're going to have our event on. It's going to be 300 people for the weekend. We're going to have other speakers. We're going to have like other practitioners and type people who know about electroculture and healing and other cool stuff, whatever it is you do. We're going to, and probably a couple of other speakers. We're going to have food there. We're building a kitchen. We're building a pizzeria. So yeah, I think we've got to get all that sorted before the actual event, because it's on a farm out in the country, so we need all the food there and everything, all this kind of stuff. So link is below, guys, tartariaaustralia.com if you want to come to the event, or if you want to come and help build the event, spend some time hanging out with cool people, having fun, sitting around a fire, all that kind of cool stuff. So there you go, guys. I've been going an hour and a half, and I didn't really have a lot organised for this. I just thought I'd get on and say hello, make my presence known again. So I will start doing these regularly again. I'll get my shit together. And guys, if you need to get your shit together, every morning, 7:30, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Australia, we're doing the Get Your Shit Together hour. Link below. Come and join us if you need to get your shit together. And we're also working out how we can do it for people in other time zones so that they can do it whatever time they want. So it doesn't necessarily have to be 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're into it, learning about what the Get Your Shit Together hour is, tartariaaustralia.com, or the link will be below. All right. Thank you for spending some time with me, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Just a bit of a chat, really, bit of a rant, but good to see you all. Thanks for spending time with me. Tartaria Australia podcast, 7 p.m. Friday. Check it out, where we go right into the people disappearing across the realm, and especially in China. What is going on? Can 2025 get any crazier, people? Probably not. All right. Thanks for spending time with me. Stay awesome. I'll talk to you all on the next upload. Bye for now.
Sarı gürze